that was when I realised just how ill I'd become from drinking, because I couldn't function any longer than without it.
You paint a horrendous picture of alcohol being a bigger disease for you than cancer.
Absolutely. I would not wish addiction on anyone. It's not something that can be cured. It's something that hopefully if you get the right treatment, it can be handled, but it never leaves you and it results in death.
And you've now gone from that casual drink after work to being in a live-in rehabilitation centre.
That's right, yes. And I would never imagine that that's where I would end up.
Can you see a future without alcohol? Can you see getting as close to beating this as an alcoholic ever can?
For the majority of the time at the moment I can. Luckily for me at the moment I'm in a really protected environment where there's no alcohol around to tempt me. But I think it will be some time before I would actually say I feel secure enough, say, to enter a pub to get a meal or anything like that. While I've been in rehab, I have known roughly half a dozen people that have decided that they couldn't manage. They've left the rehab and every one of them has been drinking or drunk within 24 hours.
But you haven't.
I've got 3 grown children. I want to live, I want to see them live their lives. I'd like to meet my grandchildren one day. I've got a lot to live for, so I persevere. It's either rehab or going out there, and that will mean death.
My thanks to Tony, who's so willing to tell me, a complete stranger, about a very, very personal battle. That is the sounds of a bomb going off in the hold of a passenger plane. The plane, a retired jet parked up at Cotswolds Airport in Gloucestershire, was used to test a new device called a flybag, designed to contain an explosion and so protect a plane and its passengers. Dr. Andrew Tyas, an academic in blast protection engineering at Sheffield University, is a leading figure in the project and was at the scene.
The idea of flybag is that it's a flexible, high-strength fabric container which could fit inside the cargo hold of a commercial aircraft. The key to it is the combination of the high-strength fabrics and the flexibility. And what happens is if there was an explosion inside material which had been placed inside the flybag, the aim of the flybag is to be able to expand and softly, relatively softly, catch the effects of the explosion and contain it, stopping the potentially damaging outlet of pressure and fragments from damaged luggage that would otherwise be able to emerge from that sort of event.
How central to this, if you like, scientific breakthrough was finding a substance or a combination of substances in creating this fabric bag that could both expand but were also sufficiently resilient to contain the pressure of the bomb within it?
I think it's probably more the engineering, to be honest. There's no particular scientific breakthrough in the fabrics that are being used. Their properties are well known. It's the application. It's using these in this flexible bag which is able to expand and catch them without putting undue stresses on the materials and the connections between the materials. So it's really been the engineering development rather than the fundamental scientific breakthrough, I guess.
So paint a picture for us of the test involving ultimately an aeroplane and a bomb.
Okay, so we have the flyback prototype which is installed inside the luggage hold of the fuselage of an aircraft. Into that we install normal luggage, and inside one of the suitcases we've placed an explosive that we can then conduct a controlled detonation with. Above the position of the explosive, above the position of the flybag, in the passenger compartment we have aircraft seats and an instrumented dummy there so that we can tell what the effect will be of any impact on the floor of the passenger compartment.
And so the bomb went off, and what happened to the dummies?
The bomb went off, the flyback contained the effect of the explosion. There's some impact onto this structure between the cargo hold and the passenger compartment. We've picked up a little bit of a signal on the load measuring devices on the dummy, but first indications, until we process it fully, we won't fully know, but first indications are that those were relatively low lows that would have caused no significant damage.
I guess the question now is, and one that is, I guess, beyond your direct remit, is this going to get taken up?
As you say, it is beyond my remit. My area is in the blast engineering side. The purpose of the project all along has been to develop a system which, if there is a call for it, the technological ability to provide this level of protection is there. We haven't been designing this for any particular perceived threat. It's really there to have something in the armoury should it ever become necessary.
What next, armed with a breakthrough like this? Are there other spin-offs in terms of the lessons you've learned in designing this?
Absolutely. There's the possibility of this being used more widely in things like, if anywhere where there is a potentially dangerous device, so in mail rooms, if there was something that could potentially be a small letter bomb, could be placed in there until it's safely dealt with. There's the possibility of using this for protecting against other potentially dangerous cargo, such as batteries. I mean, these are all possible applications that we can investigate, but the specific one for this theme has been the specific application of looking at this for aircraft.
That was Dr. Andrew Tyus. Now, whatever happened to protest music? There are a few British or American singers nowadays singing songs of political anger, like Bob Dylan and Billy Bragg used to. There is, however, an increasing wave of protest music coming from Asia, Africa and the Middle East. Some of these singers and bands are at the international musical festival known as WOMADs this weekend, and the World Tonight's Paul Moss has spent the day there.
There is a remarkable contrast between the style of the music and its content. On stage at the WOMAD Festival in Wiltshire, the band Tinariwen are playing the music that's become known as Sahara Blues. Tinariwen come from northern Mali, and many of their slow, meditative songs are actually about the violent conflicts in this region, which have pitched government forces against Islamist rebels, but also their own people, the Tuareg. The band's guitarist, Ayadu Aglesh, told me what he thinks they achieved by singing about the plight of their people.
On a un proverbe Touareg qui dit on peut pas sentir.
There's a Tuareg proverb which says you cannot feel the heat unless you put your hand in the coal. It's us who feeling the pain of living in Mali. It's us who going to sing about it. Singing is a way of talking that help the audience to feel the pain that we feel.
La douleur que tu es en train de vivre.
There was more music of pain and protest from a group of young Palestinians who call themselves 47 Soul. Their songs reflect the fighting in the Middle East and also the successes and then failures of the Arab Spring. 47 Soul don't really like being labelled a protest band. The keyboard player, who calls himself Z the People, and the singer Tarak Al-Farahi insist they're just doing what any musicians do, writing songs about the world they find around them.
For us, we sing pop music, and it happens to be political to other people or political in nature because it just reflects the surroundings.
People should be able to sing about whatever they want. And so if the Arab Spring is happening, and people sing about it, that's just natural.
And I see that especially Arab audiences in the diaspora, they feel empowered by our music. They connect to it, or they feel like they can take pride and energy from it.
It's not something we personally call political music or protest music. It's just the natural artist reflecting on their surrounding.
It is absolutely bucketing down with rain here and has been all day, but I have to say that doesn't seem to have dented the enthusiasm of the audiences here. The WOMAD Festival, the world of music, art and dance, has always sought to raise awareness of issues around the world, with performers coming here from more than 50 countries. But this year there is a particular focus on bands with something to say about the world, its injustices and upheavals. After all, the festival director Chris Smith told me there's not much singing about these subjects in the majority of music that gets recorded and played nowadays.
In Europe, particularly in the UK, music is a product. It's something that's being created to be sold to the market. Whereas internationally, particularly in the festivals we do, music is a voice. It's a voice of communities. It's a voice of protest. It's a voice of celebration. The artists we invite here have serious social and political issues in their communities that need to be discussed and need to be shared. And I think music, the arts in general, have always been a platform for discussion, for raising issues, for protest.
That does leave open the question of whether protest music ever actually changes anything. John Lennon wanted to give peace a chance, but didn't manage to stop the